the internal structure of our Mother Earth. So if we look into the composition of Earth, so we see three different layers. So our Earth is made up of three main layers. They are named differently, so obviously they have nothing common in between them. The first layer we call crust. Another layer, the middle layer is called mantle, and the last innermost layer is core. So three layers, crust, mantle, core, they are different not in composition but also in physical properties. If we talk about crust, so we see two types of crust. One type of crust is called continental crust and the another type oceanic crust. Continental crust are dry land and they are mostly comprises of granite. Granite is a rock about which we are going to learn in detail in next session. They are less dense. Density is lesser as compared to oceanic crust. If we look into oceanic crust, so they are made up of ocean floor, surface of the ocean. They comprised of basalt. Basalt is also a type of rock about which we will learn later on. And this layer is thinner than continental crust. They are thinner, they are oceanic surface, they comprises of basalt. So if we see that crust are of two different types, one type called continental crust, another type called oceanic crust. So continental crust are dry land, comprises mostly of granite, they are less dense, while oceanic crust are ocean floor, ocean surface, they comprises of basalt and they are thinner than continental crust. Now look into the mantle. Mantle physical properties. First of all, we will look into the physical properties of mantle. So they are thickest layer. Mantle comprises of thickest layer. An estimation tell us that the thickness is almost about 2,900 kilometer. So mantle thickness is 2,900 kilometer. So mantle is 2,900 kilometer thick. If we see the temperature, so temperature is obviously very high. It's 1,600 to 4,000 degree Fahrenheit. 66% of our Earth's mass comprises of mantle. 66% of Earth's mass comprises of mantle. They are in a flowing condition. If we see the composition, so composition is comprises of magma. Magma, what is magma? Magma means molten rock. If we see molten rock, we name it magma. Now, core, our innermost layer. Its physical properties, it's too hot. It's 4,000 to 8,000 degree Fahrenheit. The range of core is 4,000 to 800 degree Fahrenheit. It's very dense and of course due to high temperature, the pressure is also very high. Wherever we see high temperature, there will obviously be the pressure high. At 4,000 miles from surface, this is the distance from the surface. It's 4,000 miles away from surface. 33% of the Earth mass comprises of core. It's about the same size as Mars. You know, Mars is one of the planets, solar system. So the size of core is estimated to be equal to the size of Mars. So this is the an analysis of our structure of Earth. Now we will see different layers that comprises of our atmosphere. So layers of atmosphere. Atmospheric layer are of four different types. So the Earth's atmosphere is essential for life. You know this. So oxygen is required for respiration by animals and plants. Carbon dioxide is needed for photosynthesis. Nitrogen is used for making proteins, and ozone protects us from sun's harmful rays. So it has always been this way that 5 billion years ago, the atmosphere consisted primarily of water vapor, carbon dioxide, and nitrogen. At this time, the earth was cooling, and heavy rains washed out most of the carbon dioxide. Around 3 billion years ago, simple cells evolved into organisms capable of photosynthesis. So, in short, to make the thing easy, we divided Earth's layer into four different types. See, this is the diagram. We will start from the bottom. It's troposphere. Troposphere. The next layer is stratosphere. Third one is mesosphere. And the fourth one is thermosphere. So this is a pictorial diagram. I will try to make it clear in the next slide, this diagram. Now see the first layer, the troposphere. It's the lowest and thinnest layer, almost 16 kilometer at equator. I think we all know that equator is an imaginary line that runs from the center of our earth, and it is 8 kilometer at poles. We have poles, north pole, south pole. This is also drawn for imagination. So from equator it's 16 kilometer, and from poles it's 8 kilometer, and it is the lowest and thinnest layer. 90% of Earth's mass comprises of troposphere. So it means troposphere contains 90% of molecules in the atmosphere and extends from the Earth's surface up to between 10 kilometer and 16 kilometer. The temperature decreases with altitude, and it is 6 degrees Celsius per kilometer. Top of troposphere ranges minus 50 degrees Celsius, where weathers occur. Boundary between troposphere and the stratosphere is called tropopause. Now, first have a look on the diagram again. This diagram you will see after each slide to comprehend your understanding. See, this is the troposphere. Troposphere is in the troposphere. Contains 90% of the molecule of the earth, and you can see the temperature on the x-axis we have temperature, while on the y-axis we have height in kilometer and temperature in degree Celsius. So you can see in troposphere that the temperature decreases as the height increases. It means in troposphere, with the increase in height, we came across with low in temperature. As you can see, this runs between 10 kilometer to 16 kilometer almost. So after troposphere, we have another layer that is called stratosphere. But of course, these layers are combined together, but they have a separation line between them. So between troposphere and stratosphere, we have a separating line and we call it tropopause. Tropopause. You know pause. We use pause option in our remote control to stop anything on the screen. So tropopause is the separating line between troposphere and stratosphere. And in the troposphere, with the increase in height, we face 0 degrees Celsius in this graph. At 0 degree, the 0 kilometer, when the thing was at zero, it increases till 10, but the temperature gets lower from 20 degrees Celsius to minus 40 degrees Celsius. So in troposphere, temperature decreases with the altitude. Altitude means height. And the separating line that separates troposphere with stratosphere. The next layer that comes from after troposphere is the stratosphere, and the difference between troposphere and stratosphere can be seen with a separating line, and that we call troposphere. So mixing of different chemicals in this region is very fast, and uh, this layer contains our familiar weather pattern as well. The dry atmosphere at sea level contains 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen, and 0.93% argon. That is inert gas, and carbon dioxide is 0.03%. So in next troposphere, we have another layer that is called stratosphere. If we look at the extension of this layer, we see that this layer extends from 10 kilometer to 50 kilometer above the ground. 10 kilometer to 50 kilometer above the Earth's surface or above the ground. It's less dense. Less dense means less water vapor. Water vapor is comparatively less in this sphere. Alright. Temperature increases with altitude. Here the case is opposite. It's not the same as from troposphere. Here with the rise in temperature, temperature rises with height on altitude. Here we can't observe any sort of weather. Weather occurrence cannot be observed in stratosphere. It contains high level of ozone. Shall I remind you that ozone is the layer that I used to name as umbrella? It's a natural umbrella. Ozone layer is the natural umbrella that is made for human being to protect us from ultraviolet rays of sun. That is actually very harmful to any human body or any living organisms. So nature has a protective layer that acts just like an umbrella in the hot weathers. So, stratosphere contains high level of ozone layer. Ozone is simply three atoms of oxygen. So, stratosphere contains nitrogen, oxygen, ozone, and some water vapor because it's less dense. Okay, now Ozone layer, upper boundary is called stratopause. Of course, stratopause is a separating line. So between stratopause and stratosphere and mesosphere, we have a separating line, separating boundary that is called stratopause. See, if you look into the graph again, so we see, you can see the height, the temperature. Here, it extends from 10 to 16 kilometer and up to 50 or 60 kilometer. You can see this description in some other books. If you go through some other books, that if we have different length or height given in different books, but I think we should confine ourselves from 10 kilometer to 50 kilometer from the surface of the earth, and it has less water vapor, or in other words it's less dense, and the temperature increases with altitude. If the height is, if we go on height higher and higher, we will come across with high temperature. The temperature will also increase directly. So you can't observe any sort of weather condition over here, and contains high level of ozone. Ozone layer is very much higher in this layer, in this stratosphere. And upper boundary of stratosphere is called stratopause. Again, this graph you have to draw in your exam as well, and I think it's very easy. You can all draw it very easily. You don't need to make the squares. It's graph, so you don't have to give this image as it is seen in the slide. Only you have to just make a box and the graph, the pathway of the height and the temperature is important. The examiner will check out your temperature with the altitude. The relationship of temperature with the height will be observed by the examiner, and you will get marks on this graph, inshallah. See, this is a picture of atmosphere. You can see different layers of atmosphere in it. This is again a pictorial illustration of layers of atmosphere. You can see altitude of most clouds. It's cloud, and it's the troposphere and troposonic ozone, and stratosphere and natural protective ozone layer. Ozone layer actually protects us. That's why it may be called as an umbrella. What does an umbrella do during the hot weathers? It protects us from scorching beam of sunlight. So likely, stratosphere protects us from ozone layer. That ozone layer, if falls on our skin or any animal, that will come across with skin diseases, severe deadly skin diseases. So nature has made this arrangement for us. Now mesosphere. Mesosphere extend to almost 80 kilometer high. Almost it's 80 kilometer high from the surface of the earth. Gases are less dense here. Although gases can be found in this sphere, in mesosphere, but it is in less dense. Temperature decreases as altitude increases. Here the reciprocal phenomena can be seen over here. Temperature decreases. If the altitude will increase, temperature will decrease. Gases in this layer absorb very little UV radiation. UV is an abbreviation. It is used for ultraviolet radiation. Ultraviolet radiation is very little in this sphere. Which layer? Mesosphere. So, see the diagram again. See the mesosphere. You can see whatever you learn in the diagram. can be seen over here. Now, thermosphere. So above the atmosphere and extend to almost 600 kilometer high. So above the mesosphere till 600 kilometer we observe a sphere that is called thermosphere. In thermosphere, temperature increases with altitude. Temperature increases with altitude. If we increase altitude, height, so temperature will also increase accordingly. Radially absorb solar radiation. Alright. Temperature can go as high as 1500 degrees Celsius. Temperature range you can see here, it is 1500 degrees Celsius. Reflects radio waves. Radio waves can be reflected from thermosphere. You can see here the mesosphere and thermosphere. See temperature change with height. So I hope you will draw this diagram if it comes in exam, because you will the marks will be given in this diagram. In exam, you will be asked you will not be asked to draw the graph, but you have to draw it if you really want to get marks from the examiner. So let's recap what we learned in different layers of earth. See, our first slide, recap it because I think it's a little bit difficult to memorize these things because you don't come across in your daily life with these words and these topics. So, see the diagram, there are four spheres in the atmosphere. The bottom one is called troposphere, then stratosphere, then mesosphere, and lastly thermosphere. In troposphere and stratosphere are separated through a boundary layer, and that boundary layer we named as tropopause. Likely, stratosphere is separated from mesosphere through a boundary. That boundary is named as stratopause. Likely, mesosphere is separated, differentiated with thermosphere through a boundary. That boundary is called mesopause. If you look carefully on the graph, you will see there is one word common, pause. And what is pause? Pause means to stay. If you want to, if you are watching anything on TV or computer, you want to stop it, so you use pause option on your remote control, and the whatever you were watching, that becomes a stop. So that's actually here this pause is used for the to show the boundary. It is a boundary layer actually between two atmospheres. So, troposphere, it contains almost 90% of the molecule of in the atmosphere. And if we look into the thinnest, so it is though it's lowest and thinnest layer is almost 16 kilometer to from equator, and if we measure from poles, so it would be 8 kilometer. So 90% of Earth's atmosphere is comprises of this layer. Which layer? Troposphere. All right. So temperature, the relationship between temperature and altitude is that temperature decreases with altitude. As we go higher, temperature will fall accordingly. Higher we go, lower the temperature we will observe. Almost 6 degrees Celsius per meter kilometer. Top of it is said, and it is estimated that top of troposphere averages minus 50 degrees Celsius. See, it's too cold. Minus 50 degrees Celsius. So you can obviously you can think about that here weather condition can occur. You can observe different sort of weather scenarios in this sphere. So boundary between the troposphere and the stratosphere that comes after troposphere is named as tropopause. Tropopause. See, tropopause. The bottom one is troposphere, and the boundary between troposphere and stratosphere is named as tropopause. So as you can see, as you go higher, see in the tropopause graph, just focus on troposphere. So you see at almost you can say that 15 degrees Celsius. As we go higher, you can come across with it's a minus 40 degrees Celsius temperature. The temperature decreases as you go, you attain the height. So with the height, the temperature falls accordingly. Dear student, after troposphere, we come across with another sphere that we call stratosphere. So have a look on this sphere, that what sort of sphere is this, what are the basic characteristics of this stratosphere. So if we look into the extension of this sphere, so it is estimated that it extends from 10 kilometer to 50 kilometer above the earth surface or earth ground. It is less dense. Stratosphere is less dense. When we talk about dense, so we mean that less water vapor is present in this sphere. Temperature increases with altitude. It means that there is direct relationship between temperature and height. As we go high, as we attain high altitude, we will come across with high temperature. Here we cannot absorb weather occurrence, but weather occurrence do not take place in this sphere. It contains high level of ozone. Ozone layer is higher in this layer. Ozone layer, as you know that ozone layer is a protective layer. It is actually the combination of three oxygen layer, and this three oxygen layer is formed due to the this ozone layer actually is meant to protect us from ultraviolet rays. Ultraviolet rays, if falls on human being, on different animals or plants, it will cause huge destruction to that organism. So that's why, to protect us living organism from ultraviolet rays of sun, nature has provided us an umbrella. That umbrella is not made up of parachute, as we made umbrella from parachute mostly, but nature made this umbrella from a layer. That layer is called ozone layer. So ozone layer protects us from ultraviolet rays of sun. So we can find ozone layer in stratosphere. Upper boundary of stratosphere is called stratopause. As you can see the graph again, see stratosphere, as you see the temperature is minus 40 degrees Celsius here. As you go higher, the temperature increases. So there is a direct relationship between temperature and height. Can you see, can you identify different layer of atmosphere in this diagram? Yes, I think you can because you guys are smart enough. You can identify different layers of atmosphere in this diagram. This diagram or this slide I inserted just to develop or enhance your interest in the topic. Now, another pictorial diagram of atmospheric layer. As you can see, this is again just to develop your understanding in a more comprehensive way. Now we have another layer, that is mesosphere. Mesosphere, it extends to almost 80 km high. Gases are less dense. Gases are present, but they are less dense. If we talk about the relationship of temperature and altitude, so we will see that temperature decreases as altitude increases. Gases in this layer absorb very little ultraviolet radiation. UV is an abbreviation that is used for ultraviolet radiation. So gases in this layer absorb very little ultraviolet radiation. You can see again the graph for mesosphere. So after mesosphere we have thermosphere. But between mesosphere and thermosphere we have a boundary that is called mesopause. So thermosphere above the mesosphere and extend to almost 600 kilometer high. It means thermosphere can be observed at which height? From the mesosphere to 600 km high. The relationship between temperature and the height is that temperature increases with altitude. Temperature increases with altitude. अच्छा, radially absorbed solar radiation. Solar radiation is absorbed, but in a it is absorbed very readily. Temperature can go as high as 1500 degrees Celsius. Temperature is higher in this sphere. That's why it is called thermosphere. You know, therm means heat. So in thermosphere, temperature is 1500 degrees Celsius. It reflects radio waves. See the diagram. Thermosphere. Now, although we are done with our layers of atmosphere, but sometimes in the exam, greenhouse gases is also asked in relation to layers of atmosphere. So that's why I place these slides as well, so that we go through these slides, and if this topic comes in exam, you can write your answer properly and gain marks from examiner. So global warming. What sort of phenomena is this? Very common nowadays. Every child knows even what global warming means. So if environmental science student is asked to define global warming, so what would he say? He will say it's an increase in Earth's average surface temperature caused by an increased greenhouse gases. I repeat, definition of global warming according to environmental science. So environmental science define global warming as an increase in Earth's average surface temperature. That average surface temperature is basically caused by an increase in greenhouse gases. Now, the question arises in our mind that what are greenhouse gases? So, greenhouses gases are a combination of different sort of gases, and it is caused by greenhouse effect. So So greenhouse effect. What are greenhouses effect? Greenhouse effect is the trapping of heat by gases in the atmosphere. Which gases are actually are capable of trapping heat? Do all gases that whatever are present in the atmosphere are capable of absorbing heat, or there are few gases only which can trap heat from the atmosphere? So of course all the gases that are present in the atmosphere have no potential to trap heat energy, but there are few gases which have the potential to trap heat. So we call those gases collectively as greenhouse gases. Among these gases, we have carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide. You know, if we look into the composition of atmosphere, we see carbon dioxide only in 0.03%. 0.03% carbon dioxide is present in the atmosphere. But if this level of carbon dioxide increases, so it would cause global warming, because it is the topmost gas in producing greenhouse effect, and ultimately which leads to global warming. Carbon dioxide molecule has the capability of storing heat energy. So more carbon dioxide in the atmosphere means more warming condition, more warming condition globally if it exists in on a huge area. Another gas of greenhouse gases is sulfur dioxide. Sulfur dioxide. Carbon dioxide, from where do we get carbon dioxide in huge amount? Of course, from industries, from burning fuels, where the chimneys burn and they emit their emission in the open atmosphere. From where do we get carbon dioxide? We get carbon dioxide from burning fuel. These burning fuel may be from our vehicles. Our vehicles emit carbon dioxide. If we do not use any precautionary measurement, if we do not use the catalytic converter in our vehicle, so obviously huge amount of carbon dioxide will be emitted from our vehicle. And next, carbon after carbon dioxide gas, we have another gas that is also included in greenhouse gases, and that gas is sulfur dioxide. Sulfur dioxide gas is actually also the emission of industry, and this sulfur dioxide not only cause greenhouse gas effect, but it is also the cause of acid rain that also can bring huge destruction. Next layer is ozone layer, that is actually O3 layer that is produced in the atmosphere. Another is CFCs. CFCs, as you can see, it's an abbreviation. It means chlorofluorocarbons. Chlorofluorocarbons is a compound that is actually the combination of carbon, fluorine, and fluorine. This compound was used in the past in refrigerator, and nowadays it is used in packaging materials. All the almost electronic packaging material contains this compound CFCs. But in the past, CFCs was also used in our refrigerator. But nowadays, CFCs are not used in refrigerator. But still, in our country, we do have this sort of gas that is used in packaging metal of electronic devices, especially, and some other water vapor in a very less quantity water vapor. So it means that greenhouse gases are carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, ozone, CFCs, and water vapor. Mind my words. If you use abbreviation, be careful about that. Use each letter capital. Capital. If you will write CFC in capital, only then you will get marks. Otherwise, that answer would not be marked correct. So abbreviation should be written in a proper way. Otherwise, if you are confused, you should write the whole word instead of abbreviation. You should go for the full name like chlorofluorocarbons instead of CFCs. So with this, we ended our topic. I hope you understand this. If you feel any sort of problem, feel free to ask me, contact me on my WhatsApp number anytime. I promise I will try to satisfy you with your answer. Regarding our exam point of view, you must know the name of all the four layers of earth layer because it is very important topic according to examination point of view. This question is very much important and expected topic. You must keep in mind this graph. Believe me, if you look carefully on this graph, you won't take more than 2 minutes to draw this labeled graph because you guys are smart enough. You know how to look careful. If go through it in a very careful mood and understand the graph and make your life easy. But obviously, you don't need to draw the squares. You know this. Only what the examiner will expect you. Examiner will expect with regard to this graph the relationship, the actual relationship between temperature and height in each sphere. In each sphere, he will look into the relationship that you plotted in your graph in each sphere. Second thing that examiner will look for the boundary layer. And the naming of boundary layer, I think this is the most easiest way to name boundary. Like troposphere and stratosphere, there is a boundary called tropopause. Between stratosphere and mesosphere, there is a boundary named stratopause. Between mesosphere and thermosphere, there is a boundary called mesopause. So see, only pause you have to add. So in this way you will write the correct answer. So this graph is very mandatory. You have to go through it very carefully. If still you feel any problem in understanding this graph, do ask me. I would be happy to reply you. Second thing that you have to keep in mind in this topic is the specific characteristic that is regarding each sphere. I will encourage you not to consult any other note or book regarding this topic because as you concern from other notes or book, you will see the difference between their extension and you will see the difference in some other composition of the sphere. So I would I would request you to just confine to this slide and make your life easy. Don't bother for what you will not get anything. Okay, and see in the last greenhouse gases. Greenhouse gases is so easy phenomenon. Now you understood greenhouse gases is actually cause of global warming, and these global warming is just because of the greenhouse gases. And In environmental science, if the definition comes in the exam, you will write it is an increase in Earth's average surface temperature caused by an increased greenhouse gases. If we talk about the greenhouses gases, so they are carbon dioxide. On the top, you have to write carbon dioxide. Ranking is done according to the concentration of the gas in the atmosphere. Mind my words, I'm saying greenhouse, if you are listing greenhouse gases, on the top you will place carbon dioxide. What is the reason behind it? The reason is that carbon dioxide is present at highest concentration among greenhouse gases. So that's why it is always placed on the top. So you are also required to write it on the top. Then you will write about sulfur dioxide, then ozone, then CFCs, and in the last, water vapor. This listing is done according to the percentage of each gas present in the greenhouse effect. Mind my word, I repeat, if you are asked to write about greenhouse gases and you are listing them, so in the list you will rank each gas as I did in this slide. First I name carbon dioxide, then second number is sulfur dioxide, then ozone, then CFCs, and in the last, water vapor. So this ranking you have to follow. Otherwise, if you change this rank, I don't think that examiner would be able to give you marks on this answer. Although you write the whole gases, but the ranking is not on proper way, so you won't be able to get marks from the examiner. With this, we ended today's lesson. I hope I tried my level best to make you clear everything. If you feel anything, if you want to ask anything, you may ask. You are always welcome on my WhatsApp number. Thank you.